welcome back to Millennial Musings. Guys, really excited for this one. I've been really excited to say this. Please drop a like, subscribe if you're new, leave some comments in the chat below, alright? I really, whatever opinions you might have, whatever this video does for you, I'm just happy to be around doing this thing. We're still in the cube, thanks to lockdown. No worries, we're gonna keep on doing it. I'm gonna try and get them out a bit faster. But today I kind of wanted to talk about the mindset kind of surrounding credit cards and the disservice that I think some young people have been done by those ahead of them who have given them their 2 cents or kind of instilled this mindset surrounding credit cards. Before I even go any further, this video is not in any way supposed to be construed as financial advice. You're more than at liberty to do whatever you believe is best for you. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is purely opinion. This is purely entertainment. So getting into it. Credit cards. A piece of plastic, not really any bigger than a hotel room key. And I'm trying to understand how it can be that a young person can come to me, not just young people alone, but I'm going to focus on young persons because, they are the more likely to be in a situation like this. How a person can come to me and say, well, I'm not going to get a credit card because the interest rates are too high. I'm afraid to pay interest. Let's stop right there. Let's just stop right there. You are not going to get a credit card because you're afraid to pay interest. If you go into getting a credit card and the first thought that you have is you're afraid to pay interest, my humble opinion, you've already lost. You have 100% already lost because getting a credit card does not mean you have to pay interest, right? Yes, you want to get a credit card with the understanding that if an emergency comes up, if you need a contingency, you don't want to be paying out the wazoo for interest, so that's why getting a good rate, relative to the market is ideal. But you can't go in there with the mindset that of, okay, I have a credit card, so automatically I'm going to pay interest. I've never paid interest. I've met several people rather who have actually never paid interest. It's not about going in and blowing up your wallet. It's not about going in and, I have this credit card now, so I just feel like the temptation is going to be there to buy everything around. Which kind of brings me to the next part of this. Getting a credit card is, the mindset around this needs to not be about the bad that can happen. It needs to be about the standpoint of responsibility, right? Oh yeah, now if I have the card, then I'm just going to spend uncontrollably. And the card's not the problem, is it? Just isn't the problem. Can't be. The card doesn't spend itself. The card doesn't use itself. The card is literally a piece of plastic. I don't understand how several inches by several inches of plastic can intimidate someone so much, right? I don't know, the interest rates are too high. Oh, boy, these banking things are so expensive. Well, you can always get a card that, gives some rewards. You can be really smart about it. You can run the calculations. You can assess your expenses and say, all right, this is the annual fee for this thing. If I compare to my usual spending, will I be able to make enough to at least break even on the card? Probably a decent start, right? What can I make of this card? Is there a different card that's better for me? I don't understand how somebody can go on a plane right now and don't have a travel card. How can you take a flight right now and don't have a travel card? It's not that you always have to use your points to pay for the flights, but if you are a frequent flyer, I don't understand how you can be a frequent flyer and not use a credit card. I've met several. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. Oh, the bank's rates are so expensive though. This is a way for you to get something out of this relationship with the bank. I'm a bit lost, and I'd love for someone to kind of explain to me it's not that I don't understand where the fear is coming from. I am more annoyed about the fact that the fear has been instilled in this way, right? Because all it is really just change the expectation, change the understanding that you have of this thing. Literally, it's a one small perspective shift. Don't want to pay interest. Don't pay any damn interest. If you gather interest, then yeah, you need to pay it. You need to clear that. But I don't understand how. I don't understand how it got here. I don't understand how. You can say, well, all right, I'm gonna go and buy a $300,000 item online. I'm gonna use a debit card to do it. A debit card. It's not insured. That's not covered. That pretty much, if that gets hacked, your money's gone. And I think these are some of the basic things that, I kind of wish was communicated in schools. I kind of wish that, maybe we can take a second or two, drop out some of this crap about, just some of the stuff that they want to teach in school, right? It's all useful, la-di-da-di-da, that's nice. What I want to see is you have students get to a certain age, explain to them what a checking account is, explain to them what a savings account is, explain to them how a credit card works. They've already learned how to calculate, compound interest and simple interest. Maybe it's because they know what those numbers can look like. I don't know, right? But just because they can generate interest doesn't mean they have to, right? There's so many students that I would have seen in my time, probably before me, certainly after my time, that don't even understand how a certain basic banking product works. But we can find the time to teach some other, sometimes asinine things in school. I just don't understand. I don't understand how we can allow an entire generation of people, each generation that passes, because it's not limited to us as millennials, right? It's not limited to us. How can you let this happen? How can you go and say, well, boy, you know how to adjust to every single one of Instagram's updates, every single one of Twitter's updates, but you can't understand how to navigate a few basic banking needs, making yourself far more liberated than you ever would have been before. I simply do not understand, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to understand. So, maybe I think that's something that can definitely be worked on, because these are one of the things that, guys, it's literally just a mindset thing. It's just a mindset thing. You can't tell me, you 100% cannot tell me that this wouldn't add some value to someone somewhere, right? There's a reason why when you go to certain schools, they have things in place where they help you to open an account. You really don't need someone to help you open an account, It doesn't take but 2 seconds to go and find all these things out. And so I guess the message I'm trying to encourage today is, let's not only liberate ourselves, let's liberate some of these youngsters in terms of just the education, some non-traditional classroom things that really and truly could be so easily communicated in the classroom. Bring someone in if you don't feel confident to talk about it. Anybody that has had experience with some of these things can do it. Now, you might want to get someone, I guess, a bit either qualified or maybe from the industry, to make it a bit more official, or if you want to kind of protect your own hide, whatever the case is. But it can't be that someone's going to go and they're terrified of a credit card. I don't care if you're 14 or you're 40, you can't be terrified of a credit card. And if you're making large purchases, if you're out there doing your thing, if you're not flexing the muscles that you have within these institutions and the relationships that you have and all that, I'm not really sure what you're waiting on. But hey, I'm just a millennial, right? I'll catch you on the next one.